20 years ago, a boy accidentally killed his playmate and hid his body in a crack in the woods. But 20 years later, a developer was planning to renovate the woods. As he watched the trees being cut down one by one, Anton, who had already grown up, panicked for fear that his secret would be discovered. So that night Anton took advantage of the darkness and quietly went to the scene of the crime with the intention of completely destroying the body unexpectedly. When he approached the cracks in the stone, a disgusting smell instantly hit his nose, and then he picked up the tools and began to rummage. But at this moment there was a sudden sound of lumberjacks behind him talking. In order not to be discovered, Anton could only leave first, intending to come back tomorrow night to deal with it. But unexpectedly he had just left. The lumberjack saw the body under the crevice of the stone. Soon after, the police held a press conference to announce the truth about Remy's disappearance 20 years ago. After forensic tests, Remy died of a blow to the temple. In addition to the body, they found a hair that did not belong to Remy's own hair was tested to be from a white male. Remy's family was devastated and demanded that everyone in town take a DNA test to find their son's killer. But this makes the police difficult because the murderer may be a passerby or a homeless person, so blind testing is definitely not possible. So we can only record the hair in the database as long as the murderer to do a DNA test that sooner or later he will be found out, but this time cannot be determined, maybe a few months, maybe more than 10 years. Anton was instantly relieved when he heard this, thinking that as long as he didn't go for the test in the future, he would never be found out. But what Anton never dreamed of is that this day his girlfriend suddenly found him and said she was already 3 months pregnant and wanted to marry him immediately. But Anton did not want to admit that the child may not be his. But his girlfriend threatened him that if he did not recognize the child, then he would go to the DNA test to prove that the child is his. When he hears the word DNA, Anton has no choice but to agree to get married. The most ironic part of the movie is that Remy's sister becomes his wife and Remy's parents become his parents. Although Anton escaped the law, he couldn't escape Remy's family, and for the rest of his life he suffered from guilt and fear.